A key Vatican diplomat, Cardinal Parolin influences global relations and fosters dialogue.
A Cardinal of Influence, introducing Pietro Parolin. Cardinal Pietro Parolin is a name whispered in the halls of the Vatican, a figure of significant influence in the Catholic Church. As the current Secretary of State, he serves as the Pope's closest advisor on matters of global importance. Born in 1955 in Civita, Italy, Parolin's journey from a small village to the heart of the Vatican is a testament to his dedication and diplomatic skills. Parolin's role as Secretary of State places him at the center of the Church's diplomatic efforts, a position often compared to that of a prime minister. He is responsible for navigating the complex relationships between the Vatican and over 180 countries, engaging with world leaders and representing the Church on the global stage. Parolin's tenure has been marked by both triumphs and challenges, playing a pivotal role in fostering dialogue with countries like China and Vietnam. His diplomatic acumen and deep understanding of global affairs make him a key figure shaping the Church's engagement with the world. From Veneto to the Vatican, Parolin's early life and calling. Pietro Parolin's journey began in the Veneto region of northern Italy. The son of a hardware store owner and a schoolteacher, Parolin's upbringing was rooted in the values of faith, family, and community. Growing up in the small town of Civita, he witnessed the importance of service and the interconnectedness of human relationships. At the age of 10, tragedy struck Parolin's family with the sudden death of his father. This loss had a profound impact on the young Parolin, shaping his perspective on life and death. It also deepened his faith, leading him to consider a vocation to the priesthood. Parolin pursued his priestly formation at the seminary in Vicenza, demonstrating a keen intellect and a deep spirituality. He excelled in his studies, particularly in canon law, which would later prove invaluable in his diplomatic career. In 1980, at the age of 25, Parolin was ordained a priest, setting him on a path that would lead far beyond his home diocese. A diplomat's journey. Parolin's rise through the ranks. Parolin's diplomatic journey began soon after his ordination. His language skills, particularly in Spanish and English, caught the attention of the Vatican's diplomatic corps. In 1986, he was sent to Rome to study at the Pontifical Ecclesiastical Academy, the training ground for future Vatican diplomats. His first assignment, in 1989, took him to Nigeria, a country grappling with political instability and religious tensions. Parolin's role was to support the local church and navigate the complexities of interfaith dialogue. After 4 years in Nigeria, Parolin was assigned to Mexico, where he served as a secretary at the Apostolic Nunciature. Mexico presented a different set of challenges, with issues of poverty, migration, and drug trafficking high on the agenda. In 2002, Parolin was appointed Undersecretary for Relations with States, gaining valuable experience in managing the Vatican's diplomatic relations. At the Pope's right hand, Parolin as Secretary of State. In 2013, Pope Francis appointed Pietro Parolin as his Secretary of State. This appointment surprised many, as Parolin at 58 was relatively young for such a senior position. However, Francis saw in Parolin a skilled diplomat, a man of deep faith, and a trusted collaborator who could help him implement his vision for a more merciful and outward-looking church. Parolin oversees the Vatican's diplomatic relations with over 180 countries, managing a staff of hundreds, and advising the Pope on matters of international importance. Known for his quiet diplomacy and his ability to build consensus, Parolin brought a less confrontational style to the role. He emphasized dialogue, engagement, and the pursuit of common ground, reflecting Pope Francis's vision of a church that builds bridges rather than walls. Under Parolin's leadership, the Vatican has played an increasingly active role in international affairs, particularly in areas of conflict resolution, climate change, and migration. His diplomatic skills have been tested in some of the world's most challenging regions as he seeks to promote peace, justice, and human dignity. Navigating a complex world, Parolin's diplomatic achievements. Since becoming Secretary of State, Cardinal Parolin has led the Vatican's global engagement. He fostered closer Vatican-China relations, negotiating a 2018 agreement on bishop appointments. This agreement aimed to ease tensions between the government-controlled and underground churches. Parolin also mediated talks in Venezuela and supported migrants and refugees. His diplomatic approach emphasizes dialogue, even with adversaries. Papa Bile Parolin's potential path to the papacy. The question of who will succeed Pope Francis is a topic of much speculation within the Catholic Church. As the Pope's closest collaborator and a figure of significant influence, Cardinal Pietro Parolin's name is frequently mentioned as a potential candidate, or papabile, in the event of a papal conclave. Several factors contribute to Parolin's status as a front-runner. His vast diplomatic experience and deep understanding of global affairs make him uniquely qualified to lead the Church in an increasingly complex world. His ability to navigate geopolitical tensions, engage with world leaders, and promote dialogue is seen as a valuable asset in a time of global uncertainty. Parolin is highly regarded within the Church for his intellect, his piety, and his unwavering loyalty to the papacy. His calm demeanor and his ability to build consensus have earned him respect across different factions within the Church. At 70, he would be a relatively young pope, potentially with a long pontificate ahead of him. However, some within the Church view him as too much of a diplomat, too willing to compromise, particularly in his dealings with governments that restrict religious freedom. Parolin's legacy, a future shaped by diplomacy. Cardinal Pietro Parolin's journey from a small village in Italy to the heart of the Vatican is a testament to his unwavering faith, his sharp intellect, and his remarkable diplomatic skills. As Pope Francis's Secretary of State, he has played a pivotal role in shaping the Church's engagement with the world, promoting dialogue, peace, and reconciliation in a time of global turmoil. Parolin's legacy will likely be defined by his commitment to diplomacy as a means of building bridges, resolving conflicts, and advancing the Church's mission in the world. His efforts to improve relations with China, his mediation efforts in Venezuela, and his advocacy for migrants and refugees reflect a deep-seated belief in the power of dialogue and the importance of finding common ground. Whether or not Parolin eventually ascends to the papacy, his influence on the Church's diplomatic approach is undeniable. His journey from a small-town parish priest to a global diplomat offers a compelling example of how faith and reason, diplomacy and compassion can work together to build a more just and peaceful world.
There is a rhythm to living well, a whisper between the noise, where petals of peace bloom and joy dances quietly in the corner of your soul. Here mornings start with gratitude, evenings end with intention, and every moment